Deborah. I'm your expat coach. I help people prepare for a move abroad and adjust once they're there. Now, today I'm going to talk about something that people ask me a lot. Making friends is a big issue anywhere when we're moving abroad, even more so because we're basically starting from scratch most of the time. We don't know anyone, or in depth, we don't know anyone really. We don't have any friends in most cases. However, how do I do that if I'm an introvert? I mean, if you're an extrovert, well, that's a no-brainer, right? You go out and meet people. What if I'm an introvert? How do I do that? So I've been getting this question quite a bit, and I decided to create a video to address this and to give some tips to people who are not so comfortable in social situations. Now, I think that before I start, I would like to say that my personal impression is that it's sometimes we have introvert and extrovert in a spectrum. So depending on the context, we can be a little bit more introverted if we don't know the environment, if we don't know the people, if we don't know the language. Whereas if we're more comfortable in the environment, we can go more to the extrovert side. So it doesn't mean necessarily that if we feel one way, we're stuck with that quote unquote label. We can, transition from one to the other. So let me get straight to the tips. Tip number one, as an introvert, it's hard to go to social gatherings and just mingle and talk to people, right? I mean, what do I say? It's uncomfortable. And yeah. So what I suggest, and here's something that to think about, is instead of going to networking events and to expat grouping things, do your best to find out events or courses or places that have a common topic, like a book club, like a course, take an art class, or something that has content other than just you and other people mingling. Why is that? Because then we can focus our attention on what we're learning and the new knowledge we're gathering and experiences we're having. And meeting new people will be a very welcome added bonus, but it's not the aim in itself. So that's tip number one, figure out events where you can have something to do to take the focus away from just the fact that I want to meet new people. Okay. The other part that I would suggest is to take it slow, respect your boundaries. It can be overwhelming. It can be super hard. We meet new people all the time. We have to tell our life story over and over again. I've done this many times. I know it can be tiring. It can be exciting, but then it just gets okay, you want a short version? And boom, 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 kind of like that. So really, if you've had enough of it for this week, just don't. There's no guidebook on how you have to make friends. That doesn't exist. So if you feel it's too much and your energy is getting lower, just don't do it. Take a break. Go solo for a while and then come back with, renewed energy. Sometimes we feel the internal pressure of having to make friends, having to interact socially, and there's no reason to have this internal or external pressure. Now, finally, one thing that I would suggest is, and this can be quite hard for anyone, for introverts especially, because it's so hard to, open up, is don't take things personally. I mean, when we're moving abroad, we're going to meet lots of people, even if we're an introvert, because we're putting ourselves out there most of the time. Some people will resonate, some won't. Some people will respond, some won't. Some people will respond for a while and then it will fizzle out. So some people will, become lifelong friends. It varies a lot. So what I want to say is don't take things personally. Just because someone didn't respond or didn't answer your text or didn't get in touch doesn't mean that they don't want to be a friend. They're also in the process, if they're an expat as well, they're also in the process of meeting a lot of people. And then you know what? There's life. We have responsibilities. Some of us have children or work or other activities that prevent us to having, like a very, very active social life. So sometimes it takes a while for people to respond because they're also going through their own stuff too. So don't take it personally. Take a deep breath, try once, try twice, maybe 3 times. If it doesn't respond, maybe let it sit. You can go back to that contact later. And that goes back a little bit to respecting your boundaries and not overdoing it so you don't feel overexposed. So in a nutshell, these are the tips to help an introvert make new friends when moving abroad. If this resonated with you, if this is something that you would like to go deeper, feel free to get in touch. In the description box, there are links to my courses, to my programs. And if you would like to start making connections before you move, consider joining the Master Your Move. You can schedule a free call with me. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. And if it is, it will be great to have you with a group of amazing people that support one another in their expat journey. Today, this is all I have. I hope to see you next time, and bye-bye.